Hello, everyone. Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Yes, you can only have that three, right? And good to have every one of us in our session today. Let's kindly try and reach out to our colleague, our team member, and let them know that the session has started already. The session has started. And how are we doing today? Let me just say my greetings across to everyone. I believe we are all doing fine and you are in good shape, right? How's everything? How is your area? Tomiwa, I'm greeting you. Temi Tokpe. So you can just type in the chat box as well, right? Good to have everyone in the session. Tomiwa, Temi Tokpe, Suleiman, Shalom. Yes, I trust you are doing great. Oluyomi, Olusegun, Olusonya, Muhammad, Happiness, Doyin, Sola, Dolapo, Damilola, Ayodele, Awodire, Adele, yeah. And to some of us that were just coming in, we are saying our good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Yes, good to have everyone in our session today. So yes, the last session we had a discussion around the storyline of you understanding the business as a whole and how that tie into financial modeling. Then we were assigned a group activity. So I feel we should start with that. We should start with our presentation today, right? What do you guys think? Should we start with the presentation or we should end the session with the presentation?
The session with the presentation.
Oh, okay, all right, great. So let's start. So, uh, which team are we starting with? Which team we'd like to go first? Group one, group two, group three, group four. I hope we have our presenter in the house as well. Okay, so maybe we should start with group one. We have Rashid, Suleiman, Muhammad, Awodire, Okpeyemi, Olusonya, Shalom, and Ayodele. Yes, so who would like to go first? Who is presenting for group one? Group one. Group one, who is the team lead? Who is the team lead? Who is the team lead for team one? Okay, they said we should give them a minute. All right, so yeah. Okay, while you guys are preparing, group two, we have Emmanuel, Funke, Oluwatosin, Oluyomi, Ajarat, Daniel, Odusonya, and Ajibola. Yes, so who is going and who is going? Okay, all right. So, in case you would like to share your screen, let me just stop sharing my own screen so that you can go ahead and share your own. Right? So let me stop my screen
Hello,
share.
sir.
Okay.
I'll be sharing the screen.
Yes, you can share your screen.
If you can
Yes.
give me the sharing rights.
Yes, I think you can. Just click on the present now. Stop sharing.
Uh, no, not allowed to share my screen as of
Oh,
now.
okay. All
Uh,
right. Okay. So I think you can now. You can see that present button. Okay. So I've granted you the permission. You can share your screen now.
I'll be sharing my screen shortly and
Okay.
starting off.
All right. All right, so other group, please, let's get ready. Let's prepare ourselves as well as we await the presentation of group one. Okay, great. It's coming up. Okay, now we can see it. Perfect. I love this. Team MRS Solution Model.
I'll just begin. Just a second.
All right. Okay, so maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Yes, for the presentation. I think that will be fine.
Is my screen visible to everyone?
Not yet. I think Okoyemi, kindly stop sharing. It seems you're about taking over. Okoyemi, kindly stop sharing at your hand. Okoyemi, can you hear us? Hi, Okoyemi. Kindly stop sharing screen at your hand since you are taking over from Shalom. Okay, all right. Maybe Shalom, you can stop sharing and reshare again. Maybe that will work.
Okay, sir. I hope my screen's visible now.
Okay. Yes, perfect. Perfect.
Okay. Great. Then I'll start with. Um, Good morning, everyone. This is Shalom De Silva from Group One, and me and my team will be presenting on our topic today. With the growing emphasis on providing the right information to the right people anywhere, uh, in today's time, globally in the interconnected world, the healthcare industry globally has been moving forward towards a more electronic health recording system. It has become obvious that the paper record system is incapable of supplying caregivers with the patient information they need in a way they can utilize it. This problem, as well as the concerns for better quality and a need to reduce costs, is being realized more and more. Hence, after a good amount of research and discussion, we Team 1 have built a business idea around this. I'd like to invite my team members to shed some light on our business model, that is MRS, the Medical Record System. Over to Open.
All right.
Over to my team.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you go ahead?
All right, sir. Permit me to start on the established protocol. Um, just like my colleague have introduced us to their concept, we are talking about MRS solution model. By the name, MRS simply means medical report system. Our statement of problem. The researcher found that the sudden unexpected natural death encountered by accounted for 13% of all medullary legal autopsies. Um, Basically, what we're trying to say here is the death rate of natural people, it's reducing over time, and people are dying, and the fatality is increasing over time because of bureaucracy and red tapes in the health sector. We use Nigeria as a case study. That's why most of our researchers are Chukwuama, Oluwatosin, and ETA 2018. We use data source from NCBI, and that we have number of patients admitted in for surgical, which is about 2,273 patients, and we have about 151 of them dead due to this record base of, okay, we couldn't get this. We give a logical experience of Mr. Tota that lives and have a family in Kwara State, where he has, sorry, the slide, where he has his medical record kept in Kwara State. But unfortunately, Mr. Tota got accident on his way to meeting in Abuja, and he was rushed to hospital. So the hospital could not even attend to him because they need to get him admitted based on the cards and the details of it. So that's how the man passed on. So this has become something of a menace, a society menace, where over time we've been having these issues. So that's what this MRS is trying to look and focus on. Please, next slide.
Okay, so
Our mission.
Shalom, you can put it on a slideshow, right, so that it's more clearer. Did you get that, Shalom?
Yes, it's actually appearing as slideshow for me. I'm not sure why it's not appearing the same for everyone.
Oh, okay. So on the
I can
on
try.
on the share option, you will see share window. So when you see the share window, so that you can select the screen that has the slideshow. So
Okay.
stop sharing, then share, then click on. So you can share your entire screen. You can share as a window, so that you'll be able to select where you have that slide.
Now,
It's coming up. Okay, perfect, great.
Perfect.
All right, continue.
thank you.
All right. Sorry for the technical glitch. Our mission is to address the populations of public set information needs, electronic health records, scans contribution to the creating health policy, decision making, and promoting lifestyle. To improve communication and enhance quality of cares, reduce medical errors, and eliminate waste. To transform the healthcare systems from mostly paper-based industries to one that utilize a multiple set of information to assist profiles in delivering of higher quality for care to their patients. Next slide, please. So by name, we said our company name will be MRS, that is our medical report system. What our company is all about is a business model that focuses on solving problems in health sectors through the use of advanced automation system storage for proper record keepings and exchange patient classified information based on authorization of their clients. We have MRS UN, that is a MRS unique number, which will be 10 digits number. This number will serve as a unique identification number for all clients. Our service will cover medical report storage and synchronizations, real-time monitoring of health status, and we have one app we call My Doc app. This Doc app will help you to keep appointment schedules with doctors and um, other medical information that you can access with your phone. What's our market size? Our market size from our survey, we have about 33,303 general hospitals in Nigeria here, 59 teaching hospitals, Federal Medical Center, FMC, while private hospitals take about 43%. This data was observed by the NCBI, which means our National Center for Biotechnical Information. Our motto is every life matters, so be informed about your health status. Next slide, please. We'll go further by doing our business environment analysis using the SWOT analysis and Portafy first. So by our SWOT analysis, we'll go by the strength that it's a new innovative ideas and it's technology based and fragility of life. So people tend to, it's a sensitive area of business that people always pay attention to. So by that, I think it's and being the first kind of it in Nigeria, although they have it already in Europe. I think UK, we have the MIS. I think UK call it MIS. That's our medical information system. So but also weakness, we know we are looking into weakness of technical know-how skills personnel. Over time, technology has become a bane to developing countries where we have little or no personnel that are getting the idea of technical know-how. On South product, what I mean by that is we look at it that it's a product that demand heavy campaign that people are not familiar or they have no knowledge about it. So it's a kind of unsought product, and that's from part of our weakness. We also have an opportunity in sense of it's a government investment ratios. Opportunities that government it's a platform where government will want to buy in. They want to key into it, not only government, even private individuals, because it will serve as a means for government to even have a proper information about their citizens, and also it forms part of it takes the bigger part of our fiscal policy, especially for the case study we are using in Nigeria. We talk about global synchronizations. It will be more easy for you to access your details, even going for your passport or anything. Okay, you can easily get your doctor report from our MRS database. Someone can just easily log into your portal and give them your number. So, and the same thing about local EUI, we mean by exchange of information. There's a way we can link your details of medical reports to your NIN, to your JAM portal, whatever you want to link into. Once you grant your access, it's your personal details. We may also have threat in the long run. We have competitor arise over time. If you look into it, if you have come on board as a new innovative, we know that it will be a kind of abnormal profit in the short run. in the medium run, we'll be having some kind of competitor to come on board, while in the long run, there may be definitely a shut down or in economic profit. So competitors may come on board. However, we still have challenges at technology advancement, just like changes in the generation of system. Now we are currently using the 5G generations, and the adaptations of those companies that are tech-based it's quite a different thing. And we have the last one, which is the natural disaster in time of war, in time of what's it called, government policy, whatever that happens, that it can serve as a threat to us. And we're looking at we're using Portafy forces to analyze the sustainability, that we have the questions in our mind. Is there sustainable growth in MIS operation? Yes. Securing a pioneer certificate will hit our patient rights, reservation, trademarks, and trade secrets for at least minimum of 10 years. What we mean by that is being a new innovative idea, by all means, to ensure our sustainability, the first thing we go for is to get the patient right, so that over time, before other competitors can even come on board for sustainability, because it's a demand and urge in financing system, where people need to get a big kind of investment portfolio in it. So we use Portafy to analyze that. Next slide, please. Microeconomic effect of MRS. What are the major amongst, let's say, the micro effect, microeconomics issues? I think the major one that we pick point that for now we're able to address that will affect MRS inflation rate, just like price instability that might lead to changes in our cost of input and influence our pricing rate as well. So okay, thank you, sir. So we're looking into government policy too. Government policy, like the case of this Finance Act, now over time, the change in significant economic presence can also affect us since we are technology-based. Favorable policy of government, vice versa, it may be of positive or negative. Technology, just like I've mentioned under our thread, that technology adaptations matters to, let's say, adaptation to artificial intelligence technology and robotic world now, and the issue of 5G so over time. Next slide. Okay, at this juncture, I would like to hand over to my next presenter that will take out along the financial modeling.
Good day. My name is Lawal Rashid, and I'm here on behalf of Team One. Based on the strategic analysis we've stated earlier, we've been able to analyze the strategy and how the business is going to sustain over the period of time. Here, we now come into the concept of how do we source and how do we use the funds generated in the course of our business idea. Firstly, we analyze our business idea from the concept of the source of fund, which we analyze the concept that this is a generally recognized business, which if implemented, it will be accepted by the government, and we assume that one of our source of fund will be directly from what? From grant generated from the what? From the government. Also, we also consider our another source of fund from the concept of equity, because we believe that for any business idea, there must always be an equity capital which should be used to start the business idea up. And lastly, we also consider our concept of source of fund from what? From the venture. This is a money that will be lent from what? From other external parties, considering banks and other issuing bodies, entities as well. Also, we also discussed about our cost of financing, which we've discussed based on the relevant sources of funds relating to equity, debentures, and government grant. And the cost of financing itself can actually be considered from the interest rate and the loan period. We've scheduled our loan period from this period that if we should start a business idea now, the loan period should be taken not less than 10 years for it to carry out the business operation. We also targeted our total years in carrying out this business operation to be what? To be 365 days in a year, 12 months, and operations in a week should be what? 52 weeks. So this is generally stating our sources of funds. So please can you move to the next slide? So after analyzing the critical sources of fund, we also look at the uses of fund. What are our main costs in order for our business idea to survive in the environment? We've analyzed our main costs because this is a service producing entity. We are not purchasing any external factors regarding physical asset or something like that. We are only incurring our cost on the services that will be incurred in carrying out our business operation. And one of the costs is incurring the cost of an IT personnel that will set up our business idea, which is the My Doc app that was stated earlier by my colleagues. Also, we also consider the concept of the administrative cost that will be incurred, the marketing and selling cost. This involves advertising our product to the hospitals, which is our targeted operational base. We also consider our inventory days. Our targeted inventory days, which we can give our customer, is stated to be at the rate of 15, and our prepayment payables and also have been stated critically in our business sources and uses of fund. Please, can you move to the next slide? So this is a partial look of our business idea. We are still working on it. It is just an idea. We've not implemented the idea. We believe by the time we implement the idea, we see the screen running perfectly as we've projected everything based from the concept of our macroeconomic activity, our sources of fund, our uses of fund, our total implementation of ideas. I believe with what we stated, starting from the strategies to the economic research, to the business cycle, to the revenue generation unit, to the sources, to the uses of fund, we believe this business idea will be sustainable for a longer period of time because we promise on licensing our business idea, which we make it difficult for new entrants to come into the business. And we believe with these licenses, government will also partner with us for us to have a perfect advancement in our business idea. Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. Please,
So thank you
let's
for
clap.
listening.
Let's clap. 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 Wow, wow, man. Excellent, 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 excellent. Well done, man. So one thing I like about you guys' presentation is you created that storyline from the start right up to the end, and that's the whole thing. That's what makes you a very great financial modeler. So I must say, very very big well done. I can imagine the time you guys committed in getting this done, doing the research, putting up the slide, and the whole thing. So well done, well done, well done, well done, well done, team. Group A. That's excellent, excellent, excellent. I must say, right? When I was in my own school days, I'm not sure I can do close to 20% of what you guys just did, right? So excellent work this guy did. So great. So a few things I noticed, you guys did not tell us how you plan to utilize the funding that you are getting. So I was expecting to see a breakdown. Oh, so development of the app would take maybe 25 million. The registration of our business and getting licensed will take maybe 5 million, and all those things. So I was expecting that, right? You guys missed that out. Also, operational expenses is also very very important. You should be able to list the line item and also the values, the
They,
respective
they
the
are
respective
they are
amounts.
all listed, sir. They are all listed, sir. They are under that financial modeling appendix. It's just because of
Oh,
our time
oh,
constraint.
okay.
Hold on, can you share the screen, please, so that they can be seen our slide?
Okay, all right. If you mentioned you have it, so then that's fine. So I'll kind of save some time. Oh, perfect. Okay. Seems we missed this out. No. So if you look at your operational expenses, I was expecting to see more like a well detailed um uh, expenses per month, right? So you say, hey, salary, so this is number of staff that we are going to get, this is the average amount we'll be paying them monthly, and all those things.
We lump sum all of them into administrative costs.
Yeah, but
We lump sum some of them.
we still, there's no value. We can't see the respective amounts, right? So that's what I'm saying, that we're supposed to have that, and also in the use of funds as well. But that's by the way. So well done, well done. Excellent, excellent. Trust me on that. As I said, when I was in my school days, I'm not sure I can do up to 20% of what you guys just did. So I clap once again. I clap once again. That is excellent, excellent. So thank you, Group One. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. I trust we all enjoy that. Right, right. So great and well done once again. So let's go straight to the next team. That is Group Two. Group 2, Team 2. Yes, yes. Who is presenting for our wonderful team? All right. So who's representing Team 2? So we have Emmanuel, right? We have Funke, Olatosin, Oluyomi, Ajarat, Daniel, Odusanya, and Jebola. Yes. So who is representing the team? I think Emmanuel is the team lead, right? So team 2, Team 2, Team 2. Yeah, right. I agree with you. That was an excellent presentation. Both from the business problem to the business canvas, identifying the solution, to went ahead and did some research as well. That's great. So group two, we are waiting for you. We are waiting for you. Group two, group two. Our group two member. Okay, so I think Emmanuel is just coming in. Okay. Okay, so okay, maybe while we wait for them, let's just move straight to group three because of our time. So group three, group three, group three, group three. We have Oluwasegun. Okay, all right. So we have Oluwasegun, Madike Precious. We have Doyin Sola. We have Sarah Sadiq, Akingbade, Temitope, and Mubarak. Right. So who is going? So group three. While we wait for our group two guys. Are you guys ready for us? Group three, group three, group three. We are waiting for you guys. Okay, so group two, group three, we are waiting for you. Maybe we should just go to group four if they are ready with their own. Okay, so they said we should wait for them. Okay, group three, if you are good to go, can kindly share your screen as well. Okay, so let's wait for group three then. So we should give them a minute. So just click on the presentation icon. Right, you've been granted the permission to share your screen. So please, group four, kindly get ready. Group two guys, we are still waiting for you. Group four, we have Abubakar Pines, Ajitoni, Steven, Abdullah, Teleye, Damilola, Aminat, and Aguola. Yes. So group three, group two, we're still waiting for your own response as well. And if group four is ready, you can kindly go ahead with your presentation. Okay, all right. So we have group three, group three, group three.
Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, we can hear you.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, you can see your screen.
Okay, thank you. Just give me a minute to navigate to the. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Oh my, I'm sorry. Sorry, me.
Okay.
Yeah, good afternoon. This is Dolapo presenting from Italy. I'm here to discuss about our business concept, um, Chubani Yogurt. Chubani Yogurt is a retailing business which dwell on providing the better healthy, which is very concerned about the health of the people into society. Now, why yogurt? Yogurt is a dairy process which can be made from all type of milk. Varieties of yogurt are made from skim milk, which are considered fat-free. Yogurt is a nutritious ingredient which contain most of the ingredients are made from milk, which contain high level of protein. Also, eating yogurt regularly has the capacity to boost and improve aspect of our well-being, which includes reduction of heart diseases, depression, as well as aid in weight management. As we all know that a lot of people love to like snack on beverages, and yogurt is the best option to consider if you are trying to watch your weight. In a recent study, participants who snacks on yogurt were less hungry. It is projected that participants that participated in this study projected that people who snack on yogurt were less hungry and consume fewer 100 calories at dinner than those who take protein snacks with the same calorie with yogurt. Then we have our business strategy and description. Our business, we have two types of products that we are selling. We have the drinkable bottle and the spoonable cup, which both of them are available in different varieties. We have them in plain yogurt, vanilla, strawberry, chocolate, and other varieties that we have that are not mentioned here. We have berries and so on. Now we have our demand and supply drive. Over the time, the demand for yogurt has been on the rise due to some factors, which includes the increase in awareness among people to watch their weight to avoid obesity. We have seen a lot of reports of the consequence of having too much of weight, and we see people are trying to manage their weight these days. And I think yogurt is the best way to actually like consider watching your weight. Also, awareness about the benefit of consuming healthy food is also one of the reasons why there has been increase in demand for yogurt. Another point that we have to mention is the availability of numerous flavors. We have, as I mentioned earlier, we have them in different flavors, which are all like top notch. Then our supply drive, we get our yogurt from a major key player in the product market, which is Chobani Cave. Why do we consider Chobani Cave? First off, we consider them due to their careful selection and combination of their ingredients, which is considered healthy and accredited by necessary authorities. Also, the application of technology in the production process so as to reduce the cost burden on both the retailer and the consumer. Also, we also have the environmental policies. Chobani yogurts have a quota percentage of their revenue, of their profit, which is diverted back into agriculture, planting of trees. They take environment into their policy. So I think the best way we can contribute to the development of the climate also is by partnering with them. Then recently, Chobani also introduced a sugar-free nutritious yogurt, which is targeted at diabetic patients, which will also serve as a driver that will also increase our demand. So we are not even targeting, we are targeting like everybody to be our customer. Then our business operations, we operate both online and offline. Our business operates online with our delivery service. We carry out delivery service. We take order from people. How do we get our goods delivered? We partner with a logistic firm which charge their own price at which we also consider the inconveniences of our of our customers in getting our goods delivered. And then we have our retailing store, which is placed in strategic places in the countries. So also we in the course of our research, we noticed some risks associated to our business. The first one is the cost of preservation. It takes a lot of energy and power to keep the yogurt from spoiling, because it has to be refrigerated always, and it's required. That's a very high cost of running the business. Also, the ease of delivery. We all know about the bad road network, the traffic, and all other stuff. So we think also we are also working on that. So that's also one of the risks that associated to our product. Also, we noticed that there is always a decrease in demand for yogurt during rainy season. This is our business overview. Please stay with us as Tomiwa walk us through the financials. Thank you very much. Tomiwa, over to you. Hello, Tomiwa.
Okay, thank you very much, Delapo. Now, looking at the period of operations, we have assumed 340 days in a year because there are some days which we may not be able to operate efficiently due to the seasonalities and like you just mentioned, right? And we assumed normal 12 months in a year and 28 days in a month. Now, going over to the macroeconomic assumptions, you already discussed the business strategy. Moving on to the macroeconomic assumptions, we have assumed a 6% as the inflation rate, our tax rate as 15%, and interest rate as 2%. I'm sorry, that's a mistake on this part. So these macroeconomic assumptions drive our models in the part that being a new business, we assumed it's going to pay less tax, and interest rates as our macroeconomic assumptions in terms that the interest rate in the economy affects the amount we are able to borrow. And looking at the inflation rate of 6%, it's only logical that we actually reduce the interest rate to match the amount of funds that the central bank or the Federal Reserve will be able to set to mop up excess funds in the economy. And looking at the target inflation rate of 6%, the 2% interest rate is actually favorable to Chobani. Sorry. Then moving on to the financing, we have assumed is 34% capital structure in terms of loan, and that is our debt, and 66% as our equity. Now this gives us a total capital of 2.5 million naira. The assumptions for this financing capital is, looking at it, a relatively new business. There is going to be a very high risk attached, and people would be less willing to invest in such a business in terms of debt, but also given the future probabilities in terms of its prospects, they are also attracted to invest in Chobani. And this gives us a cost of debt of 9%, as you can see in the cost of financing, and in the equity we have a cost of equity of 15%, and we derive this cost of equity using the capital assets pricing model, and also got the weighted average cost of capital of 12.5%. Now this is a breakdown of our use of capital, and we have assumed a 1.74 million in terms of property, plant and equipment. We also have rent for 40,000, and this is going to be for 6 stores, which gives us a total of 240,000. We also have the use of capital for the operating cash, the prepaid expenses, and this brings the total to the use of funds of 2.5 million naira. Now looking at the operations, in the first year of operations, we, as Olani stated earlier, there are the drinkable cup and the spinnable cups, and you can see the price per unit of 200 naira per unit and also the 600 naira per unit. And as a result of this, aggregating this up in terms of the yearly revenue, we have 5.4 million and 8.16 million, which gives a 13.6 million naira in terms of the revenue per year. Now, looking at the directly attributable cost, which is the cost of production, the direct cost of production, the drinkable bottle produces at 18.
Oh my God. Yeah.
The spoonable cup produces at 3. Also aggregating this, we have a total cost of 6.25 million naira. Now looking at the quantity sold per day of 80 units and also the spoonable sachet of 80 units, we bring this to a total of number of workers in the first year, and the average salary for these workers is about 2.16 million naira per year, and that is the bulk of our operational cost. Other costs we expect to incur as part of the operational costs include the utilities, logistics, miscellaneous, and also the supplies. Now looking at our operating working capital, the operating working capital, which shows the cash operating cycle in terms of how we actually receive funds from our how the company actually uses the funds from its raw materials and actually pays to its suppliers, right? And we have assumed a 3-day period for the trade receivable days, the inventory days to be 5 days, and also the trade payable days to be 6 days. And we have assumed these low numbers because given the retailing sector Chobani operates in, it's only logical that they would want to receive their cash almost immediately. So we just assume some room for inadequacies in collecting the cash. So this is also the breakdown of the property, plant and equipment, and that is from team 3. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tonwa. That's all from good team 3. Thank you very much.
Please, we need to clap. We need to clap. We need to clap. We need to clap. Oh my God. Excellent. 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 In fact, you guys are too much. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Both the first team and the team that presented now, this is 100% up excellency, right? Both in the presentation terms, the way you kind of put the storyline, right? And that's one thing I really love much about you. You see, guys, I won't lie to you. There are some guys that they are modelers, right? But creating a storyline, which is what you guys have done, they cannot do it, right? You see, many people will build model and there's no way they can actually tie the model, the financials to the business canvas, to the business model. They are not just tying together, and by the time they build the model, they give it to investors. Investors will just be like, this is total rubbish, right? Because your business canvas is saying this, your financial business model is also saying this. So I must give it up for you guys. Please, let's clap for them. Let's clap for them. Let's clap for them. Let's clap for them. I really love this, right? And it's a good thing. So please, so they've mentioned to us that we should be taking yogurt, right? Maybe the team should they need to supply yogurt for us, right? They said yogurt is good for our health. So please take note of that from that business canvas, right? So great, great, great. Well done. I'm more than impressed. Trust me. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. Well done, guys, right? We need investors. Don't worry. By the time we'll take ourselves through, I'm quite sure you're going to build this model and it will be very, very presentable and also realistic. Someone want to ask a question. No, you cannot ask other team. You cannot ask other team any question for now. If you want to ask them question, maybe you can ask on our group. It is their presentation and they've given us. But if you have a general question here, you can ask. So well done, well done, well done, team. Group 3, right? That's excellent. I won't lie to you. So yes, we are left with group 2 and group 4. So who's going first? Who's going first? Group 2, we called on you guys the other time. Didn't hear from you. Now group 4, group 4, group 4. Group 4, you have the floor. Who is the team lead for group 4? Group 4 guys, group 4 guys, group 4 guys. What do you have for us? For group 4, Abubakar, I think Happiness is the team lead, right? Okay, so Okoyemi is asking, I want to know if I can get the yogurt and pay later. Their trade payable have 6 days. And so it's more of a manufacturing firm, and the truth is there's no way you'll be a manufacturing firm. At least you definitely need to have a receivable and trade payable days. So for trade receivable, unless you want to be selling it yourself, then that will limit how much you can sell. So you need to take your product to the supermarket, take it to some store, and definitely those companies will have their policy that, okay, you know what, give us your product, we put it on our shelf, right? And after 30 days or 20 days, we are going to pay you. And that also depends if that you got is being purchased, right? It depends on the turnover rate as well. So for the payables, right, you also need to manage your cash. Don't worry, by the time we discuss working capital,
Hello, sir.
Okay, yes.
Hello, sir.
Okay, yes.
No, we are retailing. We are retailing, not manufacturing.
Oh, okay. Retailing, buy from the manufacturer or from the distributor, then you are selling directly.
Yes.
Okay, then I'm not sure you're supposed to have receivables unless you want to sell on credit. Is that part of the option? Okay, so that's what Okpemi is asking. If you can get the yogurt and pay later, right? Are you guys going to give that option? Someone that you don't know.
Why we consider that number of days is the fact that there might be, as mentioned earlier by Tomiwa.
You have customers that.
Tomiwa should just answer the question. Don't worry. Are you still? Can you answer the question?
You can have some regular customer that buy and pay later, maybe. Layer customers, discussion. At least to give room for that. It's just provision. I grab. You understand that? All right. So group 4. We're waiting for you guys, and group 2. Or should we move on?
Okay. Group 4 is here.
Okay, group 4. Okay, yes. Tamilola. All right.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sharing my screen now.
Good.
Okay, is my screen visible now?
Yes. Since you're using your mobile.
Okay, thank you. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tamilola, and I'm presenting on behalf of Group 4. So we are presenting XLM Nigeria Limited. XLM Nigeria Limited is a manufacturing company that refines sugar. In 2019, only 2.7% of sugar consumed in Nigeria was locally produced. So XLM is trying to bridge the gap between the amount of sugar that is locally produced in Nigeria, that is locally consumed in Nigeria, and the one that is imported into Nigeria. So XLM is located in the city of Abeokuta, and XLM is offering 3 brands of products, which is the Sugar Maxi, Sugar Midi, and the Sugar Mini. So we're going to be jumping straight into the financials, and now we'll be starting with our general and macroeconomic assumptions. So we are assuming that yes, we have 12 months in a year and 365 days, but we're going to be operating with 20 days in a month. So up next is our macroeconomic assumptions with an inflation rate of 10.5% and an effective tax rate of 3.5%. Now we're going to be talking about our financing and our use of funds. Our capital structure has a mix of equity and debt financing. So we have an equity of 20,000 and a loan of 15,000, which totaling that gives our total funding to be 35,000. Moving on to our cost of financing, how did we come about? What are we expecting from our funding. So we have for our debt, we have an interest rate of 11.5% and a period of 6 years. So it should be noted that the figures are in millions. Sorry, I find it easy pronouncing the thousands. Okay, so interest rate of 11.5% over a period of 6 years, and our cost of equity is 27%. We are projecting a dividend payout ratio of 25%. Now, before we proceed, we would like to establish the relationship between our cost of equity and our dividend payout ratio. XLM is a manufacturing company that is just coming to the limelight. So we believe that XLM in the first few years of production wouldn't have as much profit. So we also believe that XLM would rather reinvest its profit rather than distribute all of its dividends to its investors. So the assumption here is that XLM is going to retain a larger percentage of its dividend. That's why our dividend payout ratio is this low and our cost of equity is this high. So it is logically expected that if we are paying this low in terms of dividend, then our investors are going to be expecting, they're going to be expecting more from the money that are given to us. So that's why we're having a cost of equity this high and a dividend payout ratio this low. The major reason is because as a new company, we would rather reinvest the profits than pay it all off in dividends to our investors. So that concludes it for our funding for XLM. So we're going to talk about the use of funds next. How do we intend to utilize all of this funding that we are getting from debt and equity? So we're saying we're going to be spending money on license and registration, property, plant and equipment. We are a manufacturing company, so we are going to be investing heavily on the equipment that we're going to be using to refine sugar. So we budgeted 16.4 million for our PPE, inventory also, and then research and product testing. As a new company, we don't have a strong foothold in the market. Yes, so we are going to be doing a lot of research and product testing. We might even be giving out free products just for people to assess the quality of our products. So we also intend to spend money on adverts and marketing. We are a new company, as I said earlier, so we really want to bring our brand out there for everyone to know that we are here. We are a local company in Nigeria that refines sugar. And so up next on our use of fund is the prepayment for rent. So we're going to be paying rent, and then kits and utilities. Kits and utilities, this is what we budgeted for our workers, the guys that are going to be in the factory. And then our operating cash is king, so we are trying to leave as much as we can for cash so as to operate efficiently. So that totaling it, we have 35 million for our entire use of funds, as we demonstrated in the funding. We're going to move next to our operations. How do we intend to operate? As I stated earlier, XLM is offering 3 products: Sugar Maxi, Midi, and Mini. So we are offering three brands of sugar, and we have the cost here. For the Maxi, we are assuming 11,500 naira per carton, and Midi 9,000, and Mini, which is the smallest size, to be 6,250. So next on our list is the cost of sales. We have raw material, setup cost, and packaging materials. For the raw material is per ton, and the packaging material is the cost here is per pack. So moving on to our projected quantity. So during our operating period, we are projecting to produce 7,000 of Maxi per month, 4,500 for Midi, and 7,000 for Mini. Moving on to our operational expenses, we intend to incur administrative expenses, salaries and wages, logistics, medical supplies, utilities, and we're also leaving space for miscellaneous expenses. So we're going to move on to our operating working capital. We're going to be talking about the operating capital. Our working capital is, we're going to be telling the story of how we expect the number of days in which we intend to turn our inventory into revenue. So for our inventory, we are estimating a 35-day period because as a new company, we are going to be liaising with certain retail companies and other bulk breakers. So we are giving them a grace of 35 days to, for the inventories. And also for the trade receivables, we're estimating a 60-day period. And for the prepayment, we intend to pay forward by 30 days. Finally, we have the current liabilities. Trade payables, we're estimating 85 days. And our accruals, 90 days. Other payables, 65 days. So that concludes it for all of our assumptions for XLM. So I would like to say that the figures here are fictitious. All of the figures we assumed here are all fictitious figures. None of them are real life. So thank you, and that's it for our presentation from Group 4.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Please, let's clap, let's clap, let's clap, let's clap, let's clap, let's clap, let's clap. I love that presentation. So concise and precise, straight to the point, right? And I really love that you're able to summarize the whole business canvas, right, without even presenting or displaying much to us, right? You started with a research, the problem, and what's the current solution, right, and what you feel would have been the best solution that can really improve things. Then you now started it with the whole story and why our own business model will kind of thrive when it comes in, and you created that whole story and tie everything together. So I really love that. Excellent, 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 excellent. Well done, well done, well done, well done. Well done, well done, well done, well done. So thank you team 4, thank you team 4, thank you. You guys have done great. Trust me, as I mentioned, when I was in my school days, I'm not sure I can do like 20% of this. And in your presentation, there were some interesting things that you were saying that even some people that have been working for years, they really don't have that understanding. Trust me, you guys have full package. Trust me on that. So well done to everyone, well done to all the team member. So for our last team, Group 2, are you guys ready for us? Group 2, or you want us to go ahead?
We are ready.
Okay,
we are ready.
Okay, all right. So
Hi, Victor.
Yes, how you doing?
Good afternoon.
Manuel,
I'm good. Sorry for
the network has been throwing you on and off, right?
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. Okay, right. So last.
All right. So I'll be sharing the screen for the presentation while my teammate will be handling the presentation.
Okay, can we go ahead? You have the floor. Okay, all right. Your screen is up.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Oluyomi Alawode is my name. I will be presenting for Group 2.
Okay. So
our existing, we are going to be we are working on existing business, and the name is Shop with Ease PLC. We've been in business for some times and we are doing fantastically well. Now,
Okay, so you can put your slide on presentation mode. So on that, when you click on the present, so you can stop present, then click on that present icon, then select a window, or click on the entire screen, so that in case you have one screen, if you have one screen, so you just click on a window so that you can share your slideshow. So once you put the slide on presentation mode, just okay. So we are still seeing the main. We are still seeing the main one. So you might not just click on that present icon, then a window instead of your entire screen. So select a window so that it will display everything you have open. Then you can select this slideshow and click on share. So that we can see it clearly.
I don't know. Can you say it now?
It's still the same thing.
Still the same.
Yes. So make sure you click on that window. So you have your entire screen, you have a window. So click on the window. Then you will see your PowerPoint. So I think you should have two PowerPoints. So the main one, then you have the other one, which is the slideshow. Yes, so yes, it's already in that presentation mode. He has pressed that F5 of it. You can see the icon is that. It's just to share that screen, which is for the that slideshow slide. Okay, I think it's not coming through. Maybe we should let's just work with this. Because I can see that you've already activated that slideshow button already.
Yes, I have.
So let's
I don't know what's wrong.
let's go ahead.
thank you. So, like I said the other time, our business is an existing business, and we have been in business for some times, and we pride ourselves in delivering goods to the doorsteps of our customers as fast as possible. So we have the summary, we have the business concept, industry and company analysis, and business model. Next slide, please.
Next slide, Emmanuel. Hi, Emmanuel. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm actually moving it from my end.
Yeah, next slide. Yes, thank you. Like I said, we pride ourselves in bringing goods as fast as possible to the doorstep of our customers anytime they make order from us. So we are online shopping business, and we have been doing this for some time. Our slogan is shopping at your convenience. So what that means is we make it easy for our customers to make orders online, buy whatever thing they need, their groceries, whatever thing they need. So we make it easy as far as our business is concerned. We make it easy for them to make their orders, and we deliver it to them in zero downtime. We have been doing this, like I said, for some times. Next slide, please. For some times, and it's been fantastic. We've been enjoying ourselves in the and okay. Now, our unique selling proposition. What we do is, with distinct and benefit extra services are consistent in the distinct selling proposal. The Shop with Ease PLC distinct selling proposal gets groceries provided at your doorstep, like I said. Now, our target market has been, the low class, the middle class, and the high class, because all our goods, they are in sizes. So we have the one that can serve, every member of the society. The positioning, the business is positioned its image in minds of consumer by quick delivery and affordable service at our an affordable service and discount prices through which they can beat their competitors. Let's go. Business concept. So what we are saying is, okay, Shop with Heels, what the business is all about, what problems and needs does this business seek to address, the strategies it seeks to implement and to outperform our competitors. Shop with Ease is an online grocery shop in Abuja, Nigeria. Shop with Ease, we offer, assortment of meat, poultry, fish, and every other, household needs to our customers. We get our input from farmers, we get it from other manufacturing firms, and every other manufacturing businesses that are around us. We even import some of our things we have on our shelves. Let's go. So like I said, Shop with Ease PSA, we have some of these products. We have seafoods, we have produce, we have bakery, we have dairies, we have beverages, we have frozen food, etc. So industry and company analysis. Now, we have currently we are using SWOT and a reporter 5 forces model. Now, being in business for some times, I can assure you, or let me say that we pride ourselves in some of the strengths that we have developed over the time, which I can say they are our goodwill. Number one thing is we have a very quick and fast delivery. We have a strong distribution network. This is the work of our operational research team. We are doing a fantastic job on this, and we can always assure our customers and as many people who are coming into our business to ensure that they will always have their goods, in good time. We have good customer service. If there is any need for, a return, we take care of it. And what we have experienced over the time is that our return, the return issues that we have, had over the time, has been very low, because all of our goods, they are all fantastic goods. They are all original goods. So we have a very low, returning rate, and that is what we pride ourselves in. Now, some of the weaknesses that we can talk about is operational, difficulties. This has to do with some of the people that we have currently. Some of them, they are new graduates, so they are not experienced enough in some of the things that we do. So we are just coming up and bringing them up, doing trainings and all this to ensure that they come up and they are fantastic. There is need for high technology. Yes, in the world of technology, things are moving very fast each day. We are having new new concepts in IT almost on a daily basis, and these has put us in a very difficult situation. So there is need for high technology, like I said, and we need more of our presence in all the big cities in Nigeria. That is to say, franchise-related issues. So that is where we are now. For the threats, definitely we have direct and indirect competition. Like we already have big players in the industry. There's no doubt about that. And coming up and staying in Abuja alone, having our business presence in Abuja alone has been a very tough thing for us. But then we are working on getting our ground and doing the best that we can do. Then the population. Now we have a lot of people who are coming up, who are joining our business online on a daily basis, who wants to buy things from us and all that. So these things is putting us in some of some difficult situation. Maybe we are running out of stock and all that, but we are working and we are doing a lot of things to ensure that all these things they are going on smoothly. I've talked about advanced technology. I've talked about lack of long-term contracts with some suppliers. Yes, some of the people that give us supplies, especially farmers and some our international partners, we're having issue with them currently. We could not retain some of them for so long. Maybe because of their own policy, especially for people who are outside the Nigeria, our partners. But then we are working on, getting new partners on a daily basis just to ensure that we don't run out of stock and, we don't lose the confidence of our customers. Then we talk about the opportunities that we have, new trend in the consumer behavior. Yes, people, want new things on a daily basis. Immediately there is a new product in town, even if it is a change in the product model, people will want that new one. And those are the things that we have enjoyed over the time. And because most of our suppliers currently, they are always, improving on the things they are selling to us, and we are enjoying it. Then we talk about great knowledge of the market. Yes. Now, presently we have our presence only in Abuja, and we are running to ensure that we have our presence in all the big cities in Nigeria, and our presence in Abuja alone has given us an advantage to have a very good knowledge of the market. Okay, let's move on. Thank you. So for the Portals 5 forces, we talk about new entrants. The truth is we have, a lot of mushroom companies that are coming up on a daily basis on the internet, doing the same kind of business that we are doing presently. But then because of some of the, advantage that we have with us, we like fast delivery, quality product and all that, we can be assured that even the new entrants, they are not a threat to us. Then the supplier, the power of supplier is minimal. Yes, because we buy at a very good rate from them, and our payment period is not, we don't overshoot our payment period to our suppliers. So we are in control of our suppliers, except for our international partners who having some difficulties as far as their own country policy is concerned. Now, buyers, the items in this business are mainly undifferentiated. Yes, hence the buyers' powers are rather, yes, there is nothing we can do based on some of the product that we have presently. There's the buyers, it is only what they are ready to buy that they will buy. So what we just ensure we do is, we have what we call how do I call it now? We have what we call okay, I will remember later. Competitive rivalry. Yes, like I said, we have big players in the industry, and they are seriously contending with us. But because we are only in Abuja presently, so we have done a fantastic job in the city alone. So it makes it difficult for them because they are spread across the country. But because we are currently in Abuja and we are grounded, so it makes it a bit difficult for them to sideline us. We move forward. Yes. Yeah. Let's go. I can't see this very clearly. Okay, let me see if I can, see them on my system. Excuse me, please. Yes. General microeconomic assumptions. Now, the month in a year is 12, and our days in a year is 365, and for now our operational working days in a month is 24. It's 24 days in a month. That is 6 operating days per week. We have the inflation rate at 18%, which is the present inflation rate in Nigeria. The pricing rate is 3%, and the tax rate is 32%. That is company income tax inclusive of tertiary education tax of 2%. Now, financing. Currently, the way we are financing our business is we use debt financing from a partner, then from a creditor, then we have equity, then the total, our debt for now is 3 million. Total money that we are using to finance this business currently is 10 million naira. We borrowed 3 million naira, and equity from partners that comes together to form this business 7 million naira. So that's what we are operating on. So our cost of financing, we have debt. Now the loan period is 10 years and the interest rate is 10.5%. Now the equity, that is the dividend payout ratio and all, that is 30, and cost of equity is 20%. Yeah. Now, use of fund, licensing and registration. So these are the ways we have, used the fund that we contributed when the business started. Now, licensing and registration renewal, we use 100,000 naira for them, P&E, inventory and all that. So this is the way we have used our fund to make it up to 10 million naira. Next. Now, our operations, revenue. Now, we talk about product pricing, food stuff, frozen foods. These are price pegged at average of each line item that we have. So these prices that we can see, they are the ones we peg for average each line item that we have here. Then we have the product cost. The product cost, we have the quantity to be sold per month. So for now, based on what we have been doing before, we are selling, for example, food stuff, we are selling like 10,000 per month. Frozen food, we are selling 600 cartons per month, and we for cooking spices, we are selling 50 per month, and the rest like that. So operational expenses, currently we are paying, salaries is 750,000. The rent we are paying is over 1 million naira every month. Then logistics 500,000. Other miscellaneous is 50,000 naira. Now operating working capital, trade receivables is 15 days currently. Inventory, our turnover is 5 days. Then we have repayments. We pay every 30 days. Then current liability, we have trade payables for 3 months. Then accrual. Our accrual is 15, then our short-term debt is 30 days. Drawing insight and conclusion, yeah. So the business has a going concern concept, consistency with customer satisfaction, and it is situated in a very favorable location, like I mentioned, in Abuja. The business, we have a high turnover sale because of the branding, advertisement, and every other things that we put together. Even our goodwill contributes to, some of the things that we're enjoying currently. So like, this is the word I want to remember the other time, the feedback. We do always, allow our customers to leave a review so that we can improve on our services and on our business. So we are aware of our macroeconomic environment, the government policies, the licenses, and every other things that we do. For inventory, it's the first in, first out. So that's the way we have done it. Immediately we have new products, we put them at the back, so on the shelf. So these are the ways we have done our things to ensure that the business move smoothly. Thank you. Sorry for I have to quickly come in and take care of this. Thank you.
Wow. No. Please, let's clap. I'm highly motivated. I'm highly satisfied, right? This is awesome. I love the presentation skill. I love the flow. I also love your presentation design, right? I love the color mixture and the whole thing. So please, let's clap for them. Let's clap for the team. Perfect. Excellent. You guys did great. Trust me when I say you done so well. Trust me on that. Right? That's on point. I don't know. I'm just kind of short of words, right? Because what you guys are really doing at this stage is commendable. Trust me on it. Trust me. In fact, there are guys that have been working collecting big salaries and they cannot do 10% of what you guys have done. So trust me, the future is bright. It's bright. It's bright. It's bright. It's bright. Right. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for all the teams. Such a great presentation that we had from you guys. So this one thing I want us to do. Your business model, your assumptions, keep it together as a group and keep it as individual. So by the time we start discussing the concept on how we build a model, right? We take one business client case study, then I will use that to run us through how we build models. And you will now go ahead and apply it to our own respective presentation that we've done at the end of this training, right? So that business canvas that you guys have selected as a team, right? You are going to build a model for it, and at the end of this our boot camp, we are going to now have that presentation. So once again, I must commend everyone. Thank you, and a very big well done to every one of us, right? You did a very, very great job. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. I can imagine the time, the minutes, the seconds, right? The costs and the sweat you would have put in getting this out. So well done, well done, well done, well done, well done, well done. So we have less than 30 minutes before we close the session, right? I'm quite sure you guys will be exhausted, right? Right, I know you'll be exhausted. So let me just run us through this, right? I'm going to share the files with us. So the activity part, you can just do it on your own. But what I want us to understand is, I want you to understand the mechanism of what I'm going to run us through now, right? And then let me even share the file with us so that it's easy for us to kind of walk around it by the time I'm doing taking us through what we are doing today. So a second. So well done, everyone. So in case you have a question or based on any of the presentation, right, I believe we can discuss that on our group so that we can save ourselves some minutes. So I'm going to drop a link in the chat box, right? And if you click on it, it's going to take you straight to your browser. It's going to take you straight to your browser, and you have two Excel file inside this folder. So I know some of us might we're also using mobile phone, so please it's always good to come into the session with laptop, right? So that you can use that to practice any activity we'll be doing during the session. So download these files. Let's download these two files. So you can right click on it. So right click on it, and you can see this guy called download. So you can just download it, save it on your computer, right? Then after the session, you can now use that to practice, right? Use it to practice on our own. All right, so let's kindly go ahead, let's do that. And immediately you've downloaded it, just type downloaded in the chat box. Yes, we are recording it and it will be shared with us. Yes. Okay, all right, so let's confirm. Make sure you download the two files, so 01 and 02. Download it, save it on your computer. So after the session, that will be our assignment for this week. Yes, that will be our assignment for this week. That will be our assignment for this week. Okay, so please let's kindly confirm if you've downloaded it. If you downloaded it, maybe I should also drop the link in our on our WhatsApp group, right? So that even after the session you can still access it. Okay, some of us are sending it to the chat. Okay, great. Okay, so let me also drop the link. Okay, all right, great. So I've also dropped the link in our WhatsApp group. So let's go straight to the presentation and what we'll be doing today. I say very big welcome to everyone of us once again. Welcome to our financial modeling bootcamp program. What are the things that we'll be taking a look at today? Let's discuss some what we call concept of finance and accounting. And now getting to know something is one. But you understanding the rudiment of it is also another thing. So which means anytime you hear anything like model, what are they even saying? So which means we're going to take a look at what we call components of modeling itself. Before you call anything a model, what must we have, right? And in relation to that, we now discuss something we call revenue and cost modeling. Irrespective of the type of business you do, you automatically need to generate revenue. That is a must, right? And in generating that revenue, there will be some costs that will be attached to it, right? So as a modeler, the start of every business, right, is to understand, hey, how will I be generating revenue and what are the costs? Because once your cost exceed your revenue, then you'll be at loss and there's no return that would be expected from that kind of investment. Then the activity, so we now come back to our assignment. So now, concept of finance and accounting. Many people misinterpret accounting and finance. There are a lot of misconception about that. In fact, some people believe as an accountant, you should automatically be a financial modeler or a finance person. Even though one is needed for you to be good at the other one. So it means for you to be a very sound finance guy, your accounting knowledge must be 100%. Now, what is accounting? So, as a financial modeler, the way we try to explain concept, we like explaining a concept in a layman term, right? We like explaining a concept in a layman term, such that someone that has no understanding of what you are saying can still relate to it. Because the truth is, most of the users of our models, most of them don't have much knowledge about finance or accounting. So which means as a modeler, you should have that ability as an analyst to be able to explain a concept in a layman term and understanding. So one thing about business is this. As I said, remember the storyline around financial modeling is all about that business. Now, accounting, they are concerned with historical performance. So which means there's no accounting report that you will see that will tell you as at tomorrow. Which means accounting is historically focused. Oh, our balance sheet it will always be as at yesterday or as at a minute ago. It will never be as at tomorrow. Look at your income statement, definitely it will always be as at a previous date. So which means accounting is historically focused, right? Yeah, just that is historical. How have we done? How have we performed? So in other words, they are just giving us a report on how we've performed. And they now use that in evaluating the business. So the accountant will prepare the report, right, based on the historical activity of the business and present it to the management, and the management will now use that to evaluate how the business have done. Right? So as a modeler, you need to understand, accounting is historical focus. Now, previously, businesses, management, they are all concerned, they gave more concern to this accountant report. But they later realized that, you know what, we really cannot stay in the historical parts, because what has happened has actually happened. The next thing is, how can we leverage on what has happened to make an informed decision such that tomorrow will be better? Even if we don't have historical performance, we should need something that can be like a roadmap, like a guide for us to look into the future and get ourselves ready today. And that is where the focus now shifts straight into what we call finance. Now, finance is futuristically focused. I want to invest my money in this business. What will be the return? Which means, the money I'm putting in this business, what will it be used for? How will it generate revenue? How will it generate profit and generate cash that will give return back? So future is about what will happen, right? And in doing that, definitely we are evaluating our risk to say, oh, maybe if inflation will become higher, then we need to find a way to curb some of our costs. You are creating different scenario, different sensitivity. What if this happen? What if that happens? So that kind of allows you to prepare yourself for what to come in the future. And then it's about that visibility, because you can try and predict what will happen in the future. Now, in line with this, financial modeling now had to come into play. And basically, what is financial modeling? Trust me, right? As I said, we try to break things down. You go online, you see different definition of it. But the one I like using is financial modeling is is a tool, right? That we build using Excel. So we use Excel for now to just mirror what will be in the future. Which means it's about you just trying to forecast, you're trying to project, you're trying to predict what a business performance will be. Now, not just performing, not just forecasting it, but including some macroeconomic effects that can help us to be accurate to certain degree. So it's not saying financial modeling when you forecast you can be 100% accurate, but at least we want to be able to be closer to 80% to help us make that informed decision. Now, the next question we now need to ask is, why do you think we build models? Maybe let me ask us that. Let's type in the chat box. Why do you think we build models? Right? What do you think? What is the importance of this financial model that we are all shouting? Especially if you want to go into the corporate world, corporate finance, then your financial modeling skill should be sound. So let's type in the chat box. Why do you think we build model? To simulate the future performance. I love that. Thank you. Why do you think we build a model? Type in the chat box. To help investors make decisions. I love that. Right? Let me hear from us. What is the importance of this financial model? Or maybe I should ask us, why do you want to learn financial modeling? Okay, to help understand the future operation of a company, to ascertain the worth of the business, to make a recommendation for valuation, either to sell or hold, to forecast future performance. So we have lots of reasons as to why we build model. Now, if you look at the question, I said why we build model. I did not say why we build financial model, which in turn we now need to ask ourselves. Because back then when I was in school days, right, especially when we go for this our economics class, I'll just be hearing model, and I'll be like, what is this model? What is the problem of model? Can we just simplify things? Right? What is model? So which means at times you can be doing something and you might not even understand what that thing is saying. Model could be anything. Now let me ask us, when you hear anything like component, basically it's saying what are one or two things that you must put together before you call it this name, right? So if I ask you, what are the components of a family? Can you tell me? Can you tell me? But I ask us, what are the components of a family? So remember what I said about that component. One or two things that we must put together before we call it this name. So thank you, Emmanuel. So Emmanuel is saying, yeah, if you have a father, you should have a mother, and we should also have their children. Yes, I love that. Let me hear from others. What do you think are the components of a family, if I ask us? So if I come to you and I ask you, hey, what are the components of a family that you know? What are the components of family that we know? Okay, yeah, so I know at times we can have a delay in the chat delivery, right? You might have sent it at your hand and I'm yet to get it here. But let's just type in the chat box, right? Participation is very important. Remember that. What are the components of a family? Component of a family, right? I'm yet to get our response. What do you think are the components of a family? The members of the family? Yes, tell us the members that we must have, right? Father, children, exactly. Could have extended family, right? Could have a cousin, have your nephew, the relative, right? Have your neighbor that's turned to family, have the girlfriend of the guy, the lady, right? The girls, have the boyfriend of so just that kind of thing, right? So which means when we say a component of a model as well, we must have three things. The first one is you must have inputs, or we call it assumptions or drivers, and basically they are our model's driver. They are your raw data, they are our variables, they are what you will change that will affect your output. They are hard-coded value. On the part of calculations, now calculation is more like the engine room. It is what connects to our input, do the calculation, do the processing, and give and link that to our output. So where we create our schedules, we do our calculations, our working, perform our magic. And we also call it a link center because it connects to our input data, process it, and feed it out to our output. Now, it is the output that determines the type of model or the kinds of model that you are building. So which means you can have different type of model, but it is the output that determines the type of model that we are building. But before you call anything a model, you must have input, calculations, and output. And it is the output that now determines the kind of model that we are building. For our financial model, what do you think will be our output for our financial model before we call it a financial model? What do you think we must have? So we also need we must have three things. What do you think we must have before we call a model a financial model? Income statement. Thank you for that. So definitely we must have our income statement, right? Also known as profit or loss account. We must also have our balance sheet, also known as a statement of financial position, and we must have our cash flow statement. In fact, let me practicalize one for us. Let me open my blank Excel here, right? And let me just go to one cell. Let me type 1 here. Let me come here. Let me type 2, right? And let me even put them in our cell style of input. Let me do this. Then let me come to this cell and type equal to the cell that I have typed my 1 plus the cell that I have typed my 2, and I press enter. Now let me ask us, do you know that this is a model? Do you know that what I've done here, do you know that it is a model? Anyone? If you agree, type yes. If you don't agree, type no. Do you know what I just did now? Do you know that this is a model? Right? You agree, right? Because of what? I already have my input. I have another input, right? And here I have a calculation, which is something plus something, and I press enter and I have the output. Right? What now makes it a model is because there's a flexibility, because I can change my input, change this 2 to 5, and you see that my output automatically change this my 1 to 7, and automatically my output change. In fact, a common one that we have in our statistic world, they will tell you that y is equal to a plus bx. Let's leave the x for now. Y is equal to a plus b, and they will now tell us that one is independent, the other one is dependent. So which means a and b, they are inputs. So in other words, you're saying a plus B is equal to Y. That's the same thing, because A is an input, B is an input, and Y is our output, because any change in A or B will always affect our Y. So you tell her, oh, A and B, they are independent. Y is dependent, because anything that happens to A or B will affect Y. And this is a model that we use in our statistic what? Our linear equation and the whole thing. So in fact, the way God has created the whole world, there's one input, there's another input. It has done the calculations, and we all have the output. You go to the science guy as well, you also see the same thing. They mix something, one chemical with another chemical, and they have one output, which means they are also building a model. So it is the output that now specify the kind of model that we are building. Do we understand that? So which means you can have any type of model. Everything we do in this world is all about models, because you must always have one input for you to get your output. Right? You need to write your exam, right? Write exam, go to your universities days, right? You need to pay school fees, which is part of your own input. Right? The part of your calculation is you go to level 1, level 2, level 3, or how we do it in our school, right? Or part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, which is more like the calculation. And at the end, you have one output, which is you graduated, and you have your what? You have your certificate. So it's all about that model. So which means anything can be model. You can model anything. Remember those 3 components: input, you have your calculations, and you have your output. I hope it makes sense. Now, with your understanding of components of a model, as I said, revenue and cost, both of them are one key important part of business. And in fact, company pays directors, right, those management guys, they pay them well so that they can manage the company revenue and costs and cash. So which means revenue is something you need to understand very well. Now let me ask you, what are the components of revenue that you know, at least based on your understanding of what we call components? What are the components of revenue that you know? Just type 1 in the chat box. Okay, thank you. So someone mentioned price and quantity. I love that. So definitely, before you cost something, before you have a revenue, you must have your price and quantity. Right? Now, this you can have different breakdown, but at the end, they must result into these 2 guys, because you must multiply your price by your quantity. So A multiplied by B to give you revenue. For a typical manufacturing firm, definitely you take their products and say, hey, this, how much are you selling your products? What is the total quantity or unit that will be sold at this particular period? And you multiply it by themselves, and you have your what? You have your revenue. So which means any model you are building, hey, what is the price? What is their quantity? So I gave us example of a manufacturing. If you go to a bank, their own price is interest rates, and their quantity is what is the total loans that have been given to you. For a fintech, you also have the same thing. So say, what is the average revenue per users, and what is the number of users that you have, and you multiply it, it gives you your revenue. Simple as that. Now we're supposed to have one activity on that, so we are going to do this as an assignment. Remember the other thing: revenue, your price, and quantity. Now we're supposed to go for it, but let's just run through everything now. So for the part of cost, component of a cost, our cost can be categorized into 2, at least for a typical modeler, even though we have different cost classification, but we are not management accountants, we are not cost accountants. So based on our own standard, they say you should restrict your cost into 2 categorization, which is your variable cost and your fixed cost. Now, variable cost is almost the same thing as our cost of sales or our direct cost. They are costs that you must incur before you can have your final product. or before you can generate your revenue, which means they are directly related to our revenue. So if revenue is increasing, variable costs, right, which means if you are producing, so it changes with the level of our output. If you are producing 10 units, definitely, let's say for example, raw material, you need raw material for that 10 units. If it's increased, you producing 50, that means you need more raw materials to be able to produce that 50, which means it changes with the level of output. But for fixed cost, is constant irrespective of the number of production that you do, even though at long run your fixed cost seems to also change, seems to increase as well, but not the same proportion as compared to variable cost. So fixed cost, a cost is the same thing as what we call our operational expenses or our selling, general and admin expenses, right? So now let's discuss drivers as well. Financial modeling is all about drivers. So when we say driver, we are saying, hey, what can you use as a base to doing your calculation for a particular line item? So I'm going to do one for us. So let's take, for example, our income statement, the line item in our income statement. And let's identify the drivers that we have for them. Now, what driver is saying is, hey, if I want to forecast my revenue, so let's assume, hey, this is my income statement. I know the structure, right? If I want to forecast each line item in my income statement, what can I use as a base? Remember, our output is our 3 financial statements, right? So which means you need to forecast each line item of our financial statement. For the revenue, remember, what are the components? You can have price, we can have quantity, we can also have capacity, because you cannot produce more than your capacity. If your machine can only produce 200 units in a month, that means you cannot forecast more than that. If you are not forecasting, I will produce 250, is impossible because you have that restriction. Demand, if demand increase, definitely you need to also increase your sales, which might in turn lead to increments in your property, plant and equipment, in your capex, capital expenditure. Then competition as well can also drive revenue. For our cost of sales, now one thing I want us to know is this: almost every line item can be set as a percent to our revenue, because revenue is assumed to be like the umbrella of a business. So when you check some models and you see that they are saying, cost, this line item is a percent of our revenue or sales, right? Just can understand that, oh, revenue is like the umbrella, and once anything happens to revenue, it affects the business as a whole. So which means there's a relationship between revenue and almost all the line item in our financial statements. So you can use that as a revenue, and that is where you really cannot break things down. On the part of revenue, we use you can also use your year-on-year growth, and that is where you cannot break revenue down into price and quantity. And most times this is applied to corporate organization. It's okay, so you look at the historical trend, how their revenue has been increasing, and you know, so revenue increased by 5%, 10%. But where you have access to the information is always good. You break things down into price and quantity. And the same thing, your cost of goods sold, break it down into cost per unit, right? And effect of some macroeconomic assumption, which is time value of money, inflation factor. But if where you cannot break things down, that is when you can use, oh, cost of sales as a percent of my revenue, this line item as a percent of my revenue. For our SG&A, selling, general and admin expenses, as I said, almost line item can be set as a percent of our revenue. If you can break down your cost to your operational expenses, my subscription, my rent, my logistics, right, my utilities, you can break things down, right, factor in time value of money, competition effect, and if you're also expanding the business, definitely you will increase your operational cost. For depreciation, right, definitely you must have assets, property, plant and equipment, PPE, and you must also have, it's the same thing as a fixed asset, right? Other fixed asset is when you have assets that you can charge depreciation. Then finance cost, which is more like family of our loans. You must have loans if you want to pay interest expense. So finance cost is more like interest expense and interest income. So which means for you to have that, you must have a loan, overdraft, the rate and your cash investments. And on the part of tax, definitely you must have a profit before tax and have your tax rate as well. So this is what we call drivers in building our financial model, and you as a modeler, you need to understand this. So now we'll be wrapping up this session, but we'll be wrapping it up with our activity. So the first one and the second one. So I'm going to open it at my hand, then I will run us through what you need to do. It's just a short activity that should not even take you more than 10 minutes. Yes. So let me open that. I think it's coming up. It's coming up. Okay, all right. So I'll just run us through what we need to do, right? And there's one guy, there's something we've put on the Excel file that will kind of guide you to be sure if what you've done is correct or not. So please, this is very important. The best way to learn financial modeling is when you get to do it yourself. Yes, it's not something you watch online. Oh, okay, and you think you're that. No, do it yourself because it is practical. Now, here you have 4 different worksheets, right? And I believe you can all get this. And you are filling only the ash color cells. So for example, this is calculating a revenue using price and quantity. So here I have a price of 100 and I have expected quantity. So these are just fictitious assumptions they've given us already. So by the time we are building our own model, so as long as you have this understanding, we now pull everything together when we are building our own model. So you are filling only the ash colored cells. Take note. So type equal to my price multiplied by my what? Multiplied by my quantity. So you can do this on your laptop, preferably, please. That would be good. So enter. So immediately I press enter. See, one guy here is frowning at me, telling me I should keep trying, which means I have not completed it, or what I've done is not correct. So if I highlight it to the right and copy to the right, you see that the guy will smile, right? Showing, hey, this is the formula that I'm supposed to put inside this cell. And I will see one guy up here saying finished. Write this code down. So which means this is to be sure that yes, I got that right. Very simple. You go to the second one. This is for a service company that charge average charges and the number of jobs. You do the calculations right on your own. You have that guy that will be smiling. If you get it wrong, it will frown at you and tell you to keep trying. You go to the third one. You also look through. You have a formula here using a growth formula, right? You check that, you do that. Then the page for the worksheet 4, you also check that and you do it. Very simple. Just you learning how to build a revenue and a cost model. So once you are done with that, let me open the second one. Then you go ahead and do this second one. So this second one is more like you building at least a simple revenue and cost together. That first one is only for cost, or is only for revenue, right? So this second one is a complete model, putting everything together, right? So you have your inputs, and they've given us some assumptions, fictitious assumption here: pricing growth rate, production growth rate, and cost inflation. Then you go to your calculations, right? Applying the knowledge that you've gotten from the first activity, build your revenue, forecast your variable cost per unit before you now get your total variable cost. You have that guy that will be smiling at you to guide you. Calculate your fixed cost, and when you are done, you create your output, which is your simple income statement. So you also have that guy that will be smiling at you to guide you. Do you understand? Do you understand? Any question? Any question before we close this session? So we can also ask question in our chat, in our group chat. All right, so maybe we are building it, so the whole objective is for us to be able to learn as well. So don't ask in the main group. If you are doing it, you are not getting something, go to your team, go to your group, say, hey group, hey guys, I'm doing this, I'm not getting it, what am I doing wrong? Right? So that's why we call it a team work. Or if you guys prefer to do it together as a team, right, that's how we get to learn, and that's the best way to also kind of learn anything, doing it together as a group. Hey guys, I think I'm getting this wrong, this guy is not smiling, and this and this. All right, so someone is asking, how do we submit? So I think I should trust us, right? I think I should trust us to be able to get this done on our own, right? But as I said, you will generate a code, so in case you want that, you can just come to the main chat box and type your code. I think that would be even good. Yes, but who will keep up who will keep the submission for us? So as people are submitting, someone will be recording it so that we know, hey, you are here to submit, you are here to do this your own activity. That's true. Or we should just trust ourselves. Now Olusegun is saying, let's trust ourselves. What do you guys think? Yeah, but we need to be sure that everyone gets to do this, right? Because once you understand this, by the time we start building the main model, it will just be as if we are playing, because you already have that understanding that, okay, this is that to do this calculation, right? And when we start the model build, we are just applying it. So this is how you calculated it in that activity, and this is the same thing we are doing here. So who will be responsible to help us keep track of the submission? Okay, so they said each team should regulate the submission. Okay, that's true. So each team lead should make sure their group submits. Okay, yeah, that's good. So we owed each team lead responsible, right? So yes. So all right. So thank you. I like keeping to time, right? Because that's part of professionalism. So when I say 2 hours, trust me, I like to keep to that 2 hours. And we say we are starting by this time, we are starting. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed today's session. For me, I really enjoyed it. Your presentation, top notch. Trust me on that. All right. So well done, everyone, and I would really also appreciate our commitment. It's not easy. I can imagine. And I know what it feels when you're supposed to be in school. You just stay at home doing some funny things and the old things that can happen, right? So thank you, everyone. Let's make sure we enjoy the rest of our weekend, and we'll see next week. So the recording will also be shared with us so that we can go through it as well. Right. So thank you everyone, and bye for now. Enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, all right, thank you everyone. Thank you. In case you have any question, we can also discuss that on our team group WhatsApp as well. All right, yes. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, and bye for now.